Good morning and welcome to FCRB TV. What is it? I don't even know. But yeah, it's Monday morning. I wanted to give you the recap of the match over the weekend. I'm going to focus on the Arsenal Crystal Palace 2-2 draw. And then I'm also going to talk about the El Clasico, where Barcelona, led by Luis Suarez, ran riots 5-1 at the Camp Nou. Also, matches like Roma versus Napoli was a 1-1 draw, and Man United were able to hold off Everton and win 2-1. But going into the Sunday morning kickoff at Selhurst Park, it was a tough game. London Derby. Crystal Palace is always going to be up for it. That's one of the beautiful things about the Premier League, is that no game is easy. Every team fights to get the points. And when I say every team fights to get the points, I'm talking about some in other leagues, like the middle of the table teams, the lower end of the table teams, they still want to play football. They want to play attractive. They want to knock it. They don't want to muck it up a bit, And in England, you get a variation of styles in terms of how teams are going to try to get their points to retain survival, to entertain their fans, to climb up the table to win the league, things of that nature. And Arsenal going to Crystal Palace, it's always a difficult time, it being a London derby. And what Crystal Palace wanted to do is something that will pose a problem for Arsenal, and it was. That's why it was 2-2, because they close down hard. They want to get stuck in. They want to hurry up the Arsenal progression, offset our balance and our rhythm, and they did a pretty good job of that. First half was difficult for Arsenal. Mesut Ozil could never really get in the game because the game was very physical, and that doesn't suit Mesut Ozil. A lot of people want to get after him about it and say, "Oh, he doesn't show up in big games." It's like, listen, man, you have to understand that certain types of games pose more of a challenge than others for certain types of players. And what Crystal Palace is about, it's they're tough. They're real tough. So the first half they were really getting after it, getting stuck in, kicking, all that good stuff. And then they get Wilfried Zaha, get him on the ball, yes, and then he just takes incredible amount of touches, step overs, all those things, to draw fouls, to get people booked. And about Wilfried Zaha, I mean, he's been complaining all season that he needs to be protected, but bro, you don't protect yourself. You take so many touches, right? You take so many touches that there's no doubt you're going to get smashed. Nobody wants to stand there and watch you do all these step overs. He never plays simple, and that's his game. So if you're going to play that way, bro, that's fine, but understand that you're going to get kicked. You're going to get kicked, man. So, they would absorb, they would close down, hustle and harry you. Once they win it, they try to get in positions to counter, to get Wilfried Zaha on the ball, to do his step overs and things like that. Set pieces, another piece too. That's how they got the first goal. Mustafi, rash challenge in the box. He was stretching. He chops down Kayute, and they get a penalty. And then they go up 1-0 at the half. Second half, we come out like gangbusters. I mean, freaking Granit Xhaka's free kick was just, wow. I would think that Hennessy could have done a little bit better, but it was quite a strike. He blasted that thing in far post, top shelf. So that draws it 1-1. And then controversy, I'm sure everybody's been talking about it, but on our corner kick, the ball comes in, and like I said, it's being held, and he reaches up, flails his hand up there, and I believe he got a touch, and the ball, ricochets to Aubameyang on the back post, and he knocks it in. So we go ahead 2-1. And some of the Palace boys were asking for a handball, and rightfully so. I think it was a handball. I think that Lacazette knew what he was doing. Shame on him a little bit. But he was being held by Tompkins. So in his retaliation to being held, he threw his hand up like, man, forget it. And he throws his hand up, and he gets away with it. I think if there was VAR in the Premier League, which I'm so glad there isn't VAR, because we'll talk about that in a minute. If there was VAR, they would have called the goal back. I think so. They would have seen his hand go up there, unnatural position. They would have called it, and also would have got the goal. But we go at 2-1. Rub of the green. We take the lead 2-1. We had a bit of possession, a bit of a momentum there. Then, Palace keeps fighting back on, and that's the nature of the derby. Palace keeps fighting back. They keep making it difficult. And, like I said, I don't think he had a very good game. And you all know that if you've been following me at all, following FCRB TV, that I'm a big Lacazette fan, and I think he can fire us to glory. But he didn't have a good game yesterday, and he gave a ball away, a bad pass to Torreira, and it was intercepted, starts the counter. Zaha gets on the ball, and then he runs at our makeshift left back, Xhaka, does the step overs and things like that. And everybody's saying that, Zaha's a cheat, da-da-da-da. I don't think he's a cheat, bro. What he's doing, he's playing for a penalty. What everybody in the league should understand is, listen, Zaha is alright, but his main thing is to draw fouls, draw free kicks, draw penalties. He's not even really trying to score, Xhaka should have set himself up and showed him down the line. Even though he's going to run into the box, just run with him and just try to pester him to affect his service or his shot, instead of coming squaring up to him and allowing himself to get cut up inside in the box. So I'm more upset with Xhaka's defending than Zaha playing for a penalty. So I don't think, and clearly it was a penalty. They were both penalties that Crystal Palace had earned. I think they were both pens. I don't think he's a cheat, but what he plays for is penalties. He plays for the referee. He doesn't play to dominate a game himself. He plays to get up and look at the referee and say, "Are you going to call that?" That's what he's about. So, if that's how he wants to play the game, that's fine. But everybody playing against him needs to understand that, listen, this man is just going to do step overs and wait for you to dive in so he can get near you, put it, and then he drew the contact. That's smart. He knew Crystal Palace knew they were not going to score from open play yesterday. All they knew was that, hey, listen, we got to get free kicks, corner kicks, pens. That's their game plan. And then in the process, also muck up Arsenal's build-up. Don't give them opportunities to counter. Don't let them get their rhythm. That was Roy Hodgson's game plan. You could just see it, So, 2-2. I don't think it's a bad result for Arsenal. It would have been great to have got 12 in a row. But listen, we haven't lost in 12. So that's a feat in its own. Nobody would have ever said that would have happened after what we went through last season. So I tell you what, it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a result, and we will continue on. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I think that next week when we play Liverpool will be an easier contest for us than Palace, because Liverpool's going to play. They're not going to come and kick us, and Mesut Ozil really should have himself a game against Liverpool next weekend. I'm telling you that right now. If he doesn't have a game, if he doesn't boss it, right? Even if he doesn't shine and show up, then those harsh critics can have their way with him. They can roast him if they want. But I think Mesut Ozil will have a big game next week, because it's going to be a game where he is going to be able to get on the ball, and the defense is not going to be set up the same way. Trust me. So, having said that, we're going to go to El Clasico now. And going into the game, my club season has started, and some of my older players who are really keen on watching these games were asking me what I thought. And I thought that Real Madrid had a good chance. I know you guys are laughing like, So I really did think they have a good chance, because even though they hadn't been playing well, it's the derby of the world. And what better time to right the ship in your season than to beat your arch rivals. And let's face it, yeah, Ronaldo was left, but there was no Messi for Barcelona, and Real Madrid still have a plethora of stars in their side. But and look how close it was. The first half, first of all, Barcelona's system that has come to such fruition in the last 10 plus years, 12 plus years, is the main reason why Real Madrid can never really get a hold of them. Because these guys, the system of passing them over. I mean, Rafinha came in, and you wouldn't even know that Messi was missing. They did the same thing to Inter. Systems are more important than players. If you have the right system, then you have to find players who can make that system work. That's why a manager is important. So, Valverde does a good job of instilling the Barcelona way to make it work for Barca, you know, since Pep has gone and Tata has gone and Luis Enrique has gone. You know, he keeps it going. The system is there. So whoever comes in has to understand the values and systems of the club and make it work. So Barca came out there and they were keeping it. I thought Real Madrid was going to try to keep it a bit more, but they really couldn't get on it. And I was kind of disappointed in Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. Those guys really did not pull their weight. They didn't have a good game yesterday, and that's why Real Madrid struggled. And then Benzema was not good enough again. Benzema wasn't good enough. Isco wasn't good enough. But look at the other side. Luis Suarez was dope. Rafinha did his bit. You know, Coutinho did his bit. And you know who else shouldn't have been playing? This dude Nacho should not have been playing. I don't know what they're doing. They better go get an academy kid and play right back. Because Nacho is buns. No good. No bueno. The first goal, tell me why this dude on the first goal, right? First of all, the ball's played in over the top. It's played in over the top on his side. Jordi Alba's in. He's running after it, yeah? He's running after it, right? And then Varane comes to close a little bit. Varane comes to close, right? And when Varane comes to close, Nacho just runs and kind of just hangs out. He doesn't cover any space, doesn't try to block off any entryways. The ball goes right in between Varane and himself, right to Coutinho, golazo, 1-0. That is because Nacho did not come in and close and seal that off and force the ball to go even further back to the top of the box. If you look at it again, he's just jogging back, kind of looking around and hesitates. Nacho's fault for the first one. Then the second one, we talked about VAR. First, the minute that happens, right? The minute it happens, I knew it was a pen. Where the ball was played in from Jordi Alba, who had a great game, by the way. The ball's played in from the left-hand side, and you know, the ball's played in, and Suarez makes a great run in behind Varane. I don't know what's going on with Varane right now, but he's not on form. And Varane reacts late, chops him down. I don't know why the referee didn't give the pen right away, but it was a pen all day long. Now, as that happens, right, I'm looking at it. I'm like, if they go to VAR, it's got to be given. And Varane, I feel that's why I don't like VAR, because if there's no VAR, Varane could have gotten away with that. And I'm not condoning, cheating or things like that. But what I'm saying is, sometimes the referee misses it and you get to live another day. But the minute that there was VAR and that happens, did you see Varane's face? He was like, oh no, everybody gonna see me chop this dude down in the box. Of course, the referee came back and was like, give it, pen, Suarez tucks, 2-0. You know what I mean? So there you have it, getting smashed up at halftime. Second half comes out, Real Madrid shows a bit of fight back. They get into a little bit, and Marcelo makes it 2-1. And then I'm thinking, okay, we got a game now. And then Luka Modric hits the post. If that goes in, it hits the inside of the post. If that goes in, that's 2-2, game on. But it doesn't go in, and then just almost against the run of play, Barca goes down and Suarez scores this dope header again, very similar to the header from Antoine Griezmann on international duty for France against Germany. I think Griezmann's header was better though, because it was harder. The angle that he was at was more difficult than Suarez. But Suarez, great goal, 3-1, and then Ramos slips, 4-1. Vidal comes on. Dembele comes on, whips it in, 5-1, smash, 5. So the system, it was all about the system for Barca. They really got after him. Real Madrid really needs to Real Madrid, their philosophy is not as good as Barcelona's philosophy. That's why in this day and age they're struggling to keep up. You can't just buy stars and think you're gonna just beat people. When you play against a proper system, you're gonna be in trouble. And Barcelona is the definition of a proper system. I think that Mariano should have started the game instead of Benzema. Benzema needs to. Why don't they sell Benzema? But again, this guy Florentino Perez loves Benzema, so he's telling whoever comes in as coach, he tells them you can't take Benzema off. Benzema shouldn't even be playing anymore. He's not on form. Get him out. Let Mariano play. That's what they should have done, man. But it was absolutely fantastic by Barcelona. I was a little sad that Artur didn't really have a great game. He wasn't bad, but he didn't really dominate like he did against Inter. Maybe Casemiro has something to do with that. I don't know. Or Toni Kroos, but Toni didn't have a good game. Real Madrid should have came out and said, let's get on this ball and keep him off it. If we have the ball, they can't score against you. That's why everybody's technique in the side has to be good enough. That's why everybody has to be able to trap and pass and move. You got to be able to take care of the ball, each individual player. And Real Madrid has it. I don't know why they wanted to relinquish possession to Barca. That's a kiss of death. Why would you do that? How do you think you're gonna beat these dudes? And then you sold the ultimate counterattack goal merchant to Juve. So why would you not say, okay, we're gonna keep it now? We have to. If we keep it, Barca can't hurt us. But listen to me talking like I care about Real Madrid. I'm a gunner. I don't care about them. But I'm watching the game, breaking it down. And Real Madrid just made a lot of mistakes, man. And you can't do that against a side like Barcelona. You can't. And they made mistakes before the game even started. Mindset, tactical setup. I think Lopetegui's gone. By the time this video hits, Lopetegui could be fired. Because he's getting it all wrong, bruh. All wrong. But, yeah. So let me know what you think about the Clásico. If you want to talk about Wilfred Zaha, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Right at the bottom, FCRB TV. Have a great day, world. Ciao.